What is good, YouTube? Quinway basketball analysis, holding down analysisplayground.com. And we're going to talk about another potential player that can be special with a lot of upside, a lot of potential, but also a huge amount of red flags and flaws. And we're going to talk about Zaire Williams out of Stanford, a guy that got a lot of people looking at it like this guy has star potential. He can hit jumpers. He can hit threes. Didn't shoot the ball particularly well, as you would like, under 40% from the field in college. Didn't really explode to the rim like you would like. Since he is 6'8", you would think that he'll have that power. He'll have that athleticism, and it's not there, honestly. And you would think that if you're a fan, you'll want a little bit more. When I started watching tape and some footage on him, I seen a lot of hype and a lot of people saying that he could be a good pick. And then when I seen how he played and his style and how he was scoring and the fact that he wasn't efficient, even though he took a lot of easy shots and he didn't really try too hard, didn't really have a good handle. Some people say he does, but he didn't really create enough, wasn't creative enough, didn't angle enough, didn't even go to the basket enough and finish and even create space enough, because I feel like he got a lot of his off catches or coming off a screen, and that's easy, and he wasn't even super efficient at those. So when you get a guy like Zaire Williams, he most likely might play in the G League a lot because he needs a lot of development, not just with his handle, and his jump shot needs to be reworked a little bit, even though I do love when he let it fly because it just goes all the way in the air and it goes right into the basket sometimes. And it's just a hilarious jump shot because it's so slow in the air. But this guy needs a lot of work. If this guy is going to turn into an all-star, if this guy is going to turn into a starter that you can rely on to create offense on, he's far away from that. If you draft Zaire Williams, you're getting a project, a guy that you're going to have to invest a lot of discipline in, a lot of patience in, and a whole lot of development, because I don't see how he can be an elite level player or even a starting caliber player. Um, Honestly, and for him to be able to go in the first round just shows you how much people are believing in his ability to be developed. And it's good that the G League is there for guys to still be able to play, still be able to work on things, still be able to get their reps in. But he's far away to me of being an NBA player when you barely can create your own shot, when you barely can be able to get to your own spots off the dribble, and then don't really have enough really at all as a creation type of scorer. I really struggle seeing what role he'll have in the NBA because he's not a great catch and shoot guy from three or mid range, and he also can't really create his own shot consistently. And even if he could, he just doesn't make shots consistently because he's not a great shooter or even a reliable shooter at this point in his career. So this guy is getting a lot of hype because of his potential. He's getting a lot of hype because of his body, but he's one of those guys where I want more. I wanted a little bit more toughness. I wanted a little bit more explosiveness, but he just doesn't have that either. So it's kind of tough for me to see him being a guy making noise in the NBA when he has so many obstacles and so many hurdles that he has to clear just to be a great player in this league or even a starter. That's how raw and unpolished he is at majority of everything at basketball. And on top of that, he's not a great decision maker. He shows us the willingness to pass. He shows the unselfishness to pass, but being able to create shots for his opponent is not. I mean, for his teammates is not there. He's not a great passer, not a great playmaker at this point in his career. And even if he was, it's kind of hard to create when you don't really become a legitimate threat as an offensive player. If you really can't break down a defense or you can't really get to the paint and collapse it, you're not going to really be creating for your teammates anyway, because they're just going to guard you one-on-one on a perimeter, especially when you don't really have any go-to moves or shots that you can rely on to become a threat. He just doesn't have none of that stuff in his bag. And even though he is a legitimate 6'8" and a good athlete, it's still a lot of things that he doesn't have figured out. He's a work in progress. If you draft this guy within the top 20, just know you really have to be strict on how you bring him along, just because he is just so far away and so raw offensively that I don't even know what he can be in the league. I'm just having difficulty seeing what he will be. Will he be a 20-point scorer? Can he even become a guy you can rely on off the bench? Because he just that, honestly, that raw offensively, to where he wasn't even consistently scoring or dominating even at the college level, to the point where I can see it in the NBA. He was just that raw at everything. So to me, I'm low on Zaire Williams just because I don't see enough. And even when I do see that body and I see that frame, not strong enough, not being able to fight through contact, not being able to score through contact, not being able to create when you're getting bumped, when a guy is in front of you, to be able to use your handle to create separation, to get consistent shots off. Remember, everybody's 6'7", 6'8" in the NBA that he's going to be going against or bigger. So he's not going to have that advantage of athleticism and size like he did in high school and college. That's going to be alleviated in the NBA because everybody's going to be bigger or stronger because his body is not there either. So Zaire Williams, this is a project. If you're drafting him with the knowledge that it's going to take a long period of grinding for him to really pay off as a pick. And if you put him in a G League and you continue to stay on him and you continue to be patient with him and you continue to show him what he needs to become and what he needs to work on and what he needs to perfect, maybe 3 to 5 years from now, he can be a legitimate impact player in the NBA. But I don't even see this guy as a guy you can draft and honestly play. I don't see him being able to get significant minutes in the NBA as a rookie. And the only reason I bring these red flags up is because he's close to being a lottery pick. And I see a lot of red flags on this guy. And a lot of them, to me, calculates him into being a bust. This guy looks like he has all the tools to be something special, but then you realize you got to put all the armor on him and give him the weaponry and give him the shield to be able to go to battle. He doesn't have everything. He has the ability to be in the NBA, but other than that, he just has really no rebounding, no passing, no go-to moves, no shot creation, no playmaking, and the best thing for him is to shoot with confidence. He's not afraid to let it go. He's not afraid to take shots. But the problem is they're not going in either at a good enough clip to where I want you shooting them and taking them anyway, because he didn't shoot that well in college either. So I'm low on Zaire Williams. The only reason why you're drafting him is because you feel like you have the necessary coaching staff and development crew that can get him the help, the knowledge, and the patience to make him into something special. Because the physical tools is there when it comes to length and size, but strength and everything else, he's not even close physically on those things to be an NBA player either. So this guy is getting drafted based off his potential. He's getting drafted based off his future or what he can become. But I am an analyst and I watch basically everything, listen to everything, and I'm a basketball junkie, and I don't even know what Zaire Williams would be 3 years from now. He could be possibly struggling to stay in the league to me, and that's why I fear taking him within the top 20, because it is a lot of guys that you know what you're getting. It is a lot of guys that already have developed skill sets that you can take and they can contribute at least 15 minutes out of the gate. And I don't feel like Zaire can do any of those things. I can see it 3 to 5 years from now. But even then, like I said, what type of player will he become within those years? Will it even be worth being a starter? Because right now, he's not even a rotation player or a player that I can bring in and ask for contributions anywhere. Like, that's how raw this guy really is. And he's getting a lot of backup. He's getting a lot of hype. But if you want basketball analysis opinion, This guy is just a little bit too raw. He's just a little bit too raw to where it's going to take a long time for him to really pay off if you take him high. Now, if you take him in the late first round or the second round, then you won't regret it as much because you're not really getting anything special usually around there. And even if you do, it'll be a diamond in the rough, which Zaire Williams to me is. And then I'll be more comfortable with you picking him. But if you picking them within that top 20, just beware if you're a fan. This guy needs a long period of time to become something special. And what team is going to wait around? What team is going to be patient? I don't know. But other than that, I'm low on Zaire Williams. And I'll be back later today with another rookie analysis breakdown. Other than that, Quinn Wade basketball analysis, I'm gone.